Welcome to the Bible Quiz and Trivia channel. Today, we're testing your knowledge with a special focus on the Book of Chronicles, covering everything from royal lineages to significant reforms. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video to support our content. After the quiz, share your score in the comments. We love seeing how well you do. Are you ready? Let's get started. Question 1. Who is the first person listed in the genealogies of 1 Chronicles? A. Adam. B. Seth. C. Noah. D. Shem. Answer A. Adam. 1 Chronicles 1-1 starts with Adam, Seth, and Enosh, establishing Adam as the first person listed. This genealogy sets the stage for tracing Israel's ancestry from the very beginning of human history. Question 2. What was David's role in the preparation for the temple construction? A. He gathered materials. B. He designed the plans. C. He consecrated the ground. D. All of the above. Answer D. All of the above. David played a comprehensive role in preparing for the temple's construction. He gathered materials, provided plans, and consecrated the ground, ensuring his son Solomon would have everything needed to build the temple. This is detailed across several chapters, particularly in 1 Chronicles 22 and 28. Question 3. How many sons of David are named in 1 Chronicles? A. 19. B. 20. C. 24. D. 18. Answer A. 19. 1 Chronicles 3 lists 19 sons of David by various wives and concubines, providing a detailed account of his lineage, which was significant for royal succession in Judah. Question 4. What is the significance of the temple in the Book of Chronicles? A. It was a political symbol. B. It was a place of worship and national identity. C. It was used for royal ceremonies. D. It served as a military stronghold. Answer B. It was a place of worship and national identity. The temple is central in Chronicles, symbolizing God's presence among his people and serving as the spiritual heart of national identity and religious practice. Its construction and the worship practices associated with it are key themes throughout the narrative. Question 5. Who succeeded Saul as king of Israel according to Chronicles? A. David. B. Solomon. C. Jonathan. D. Ishbosheth. Answer A. David. 1 Chronicles 10:14 explicitly states that after Saul's death, God turned the kingdom over to David, making him the next king of Israel. Question 6. Which tribe is notably absent in the genealogies of the first 9 chapters of 1 Chronicles? A. Simeon. B. Dan. C. Ephraim. D. Benjamin. Answer B. Dan. The tribe of Dan is absent from the extensive genealogical records in 1 Chronicles, which has led to various interpretations by biblical scholars. Question 7. What was the sin of King Josiah as recorded in 2 Chronicles? A. Adultery. B. Idolatry. C. Pride and wrongful temple incense burning. D. Theft. Answer C. Pride and wrongful temple incense burning. 2 Chronicles 26 describes how Uzziah, filled with pride, improperly entered the temple to burn incense, a duty reserved for priests, resulting in his immediate punishment with leprosy. Question 8. How did King Hezekiah purify the temple, according to 2 Chronicles? A. By rebuilding its walls. B. By rededicating and cleansing it. C. By enlarging its courtyards. D. By installing new priests. Answer B. By rededicating and cleansing it. 2 Chronicles 29 details Hezekiah's extensive efforts to purify and rededicate the temple, including cleansing it from defilement by previous regimes and restoring proper worship practices. Question 9. What major reform did King Josiah implement in Judah? A. He established a new tax system. B. He reformed the judicial system. C. He restored the observance of Passover. D. He created a new currency. Answer: C. He restored the observance of Passover. 2 Chronicles 35 records Josiah's significant religious reform, which centered on restoring the observance of Passover, an event that had not been properly kept for generations. Question 10. Who were the enemies that came against Jehoshaphat as mentioned in 2 Chronicles 20? A. Egyptians and Philistines. B. Moabites, Ammonites, and Meunites. C. Babylonians and Assyrians. D. Canaanites and Hittites. Answer: B. Moabites, Ammonites, and Meunites. 2 Chronicles 20 describes how these groups came together to wage war against Jehoshaphat, leading to a miraculous deliverance by God when Jehoshaphat and his people sought the Lord through prayer and fasting. Question 11. What role did the prophets play during the reigns of the kings in Chronicles? A. They were mainly historians. B. They served as royal advisors. C. They were God's messengers. D. They led the army into battle. Answer: C. They were God's messengers. In Chronicles, prophets like Nathan, Gad, and others acted as divine messengers, guiding, warning, and instructing the kings and the people in righteousness and God's will. Question 12. Which king of Judah is noted for his wisdom in 2 Chronicles? A. Jehoshaphat. B. Hezekiah. C. Solomon. D. Asa. Answer: C. Solomon. Solomon's wisdom is highlighted in 2 Chronicles, especially in chapters 1 and 9, where his wise judgments and the wealth of his wisdom, given by God, are emphasized. Question 13. What was the cause of the division of the kingdom after Solomon's death as recorded in Chronicles? A. Solomon's heavy taxation. B. Solomon's idolatry. C. Rehoboam's harsh policies. D. External invasions. Answer: B. Solomon's idolatry. 2 Chronicles 10 details that the division was a result of Solomon's idolatry, which led to God's judgment in the form of a divided kingdom during Rehoboam's reign. Question 14. What specific plague did God send as a punishment to David's census? A. Locusts. B. Famine. C. Pestilence. D. Darkness. Answer: C. Pestilence. 2 Chronicles 21 describes God sending a plague, pestilence, that killed many in Israel as a direct consequence of David's unauthorized census, emphasizing the severity of David's sin. Question 15. How did Rehoboam respond to the northern tribes' request for lighter burdens? A. He reduced their taxes. B. He increased their workload. C. He ignored their requests. D. He sought advice from older counselors. Answer: B. He increased their workload. 2 Chronicles 10 recounts how Rehoboam, ignoring the advice of older counselors to lighten the heavy burdens, instead increased the workload, leading to the rebellion of the northern tribes and the split of the kingdom. Question 16. Which king of Israel is noted for having leprosy until his death? A. King Jehoram. B. King Josiah. C. King Ahab. D. King Joash. Answer: B. King Josiah. King Josiah, also known as Azariah, was struck with leprosy for his transgression of offering incense in the temple, a duty assigned only to the priests. 2 Chronicles 26:21 states, King Josiah had leprosy until the day he died. He lived in a separate house, lepras, and banned from the temple of the Lord. Question 17. What was the major project undertaken by Solomon as described in 2 Chronicles? A. Building the royal palace. B. Constructing the wall of Jerusalem. C. Building the temple of the Lord. D. Establishing trade routes. Answer: C. Building the temple of the Lord. Solomon's major project, as detailed in 2 Chronicles 2-7, was constructing the temple in Jerusalem, a significant undertaking that fulfilled his father David's dream and provided a permanent home for the Ark of the Covenant and a central place of worship for Israel. Question 18. In Chronicles, who is recognized as a significant reformer of religious practices in Judah? A. King Asa. B. King Hezekiah. C. King Josiah. D. King Jehoshaphat. Answer: C. King Josiah. King Josiah is recognized for his major religious reforms, which included restoring the temple, centralizing worship in Jerusalem, and renewing the covenant between the Lord and the people. His reforms are highlighted in 2 Chronicles 34-35, particularly his efforts to adhere strictly to the scriptures. Question 19. How many chapters in 1 Chronicles are dedicated to the reign of King David? A. 6. B. 9. C. 15. D. 21. Answer: B. 9. Chapters 10-18 of 1 Chronicles are dedicated to the reign of King David, focusing on his military conquest, the organization of the Levites, and his preparations for the construction of the temple. Question 20. What significant act involving the Ark of the Covenant did David perform? A. He captured it from the Philistines. B. He moved it to Jerusalem. C. He hid it from enemies. D. He opened it during a ceremony. Answer: B. He moved it to Jerusalem. David's significant act involving the ark was bringing it to Jerusalem, which is described in 1 Chronicles 15-16. This act was intended to centralize religious worship and solidify Jerusalem as the spiritual and political capital of Israel. Question 21. Who is mentioned as the chief father in 1 Chronicles 5? A. Reuben. B. Joel. C. Shimron. D. Bera. Answer: D. Bera. Bera is mentioned as the chief father among the tribe of Reuben in 1 Chronicles 5-6. He was recognized as a leader during the captivity. Question 22. What disease afflicted King Asa in his old age? A. Blindness. B. Leprosy. C. Foot disease. D. Heart disease. Answer: C. Foot disease. King Asa suffered from a disease in his feet during his old age, described in 2 Chronicles 16:12. The chronicler notes that even in his disease, Asa did not seek help from the Lord but only from physicians, highlighting a spiritual lesson on reliance on God. Question 23. How long did Jehoiachin spend in Babylonian captivity according to 2 Chronicles? A. 37 years. B. 70 years. C. 12 years. D. 50 years. Answer: A. 37 years. 2 Chronicles 36-9 mentions that Jehoiachin was taken captive to Babylon, and he remained there for 37 years before being released by the Babylonian king Evil-Merodach. Question 24. Which prophet warned Rehoboam about waging war against the northern kingdom? A. Isaiah. B. Shemaiah. C. Micaiah. D. Jeremiah. Answer: B. Shemaiah. Shemaiah the prophet warned Rehoboam and the people of Judah not to fight against their Israelite brothers when Rehoboam wanted to restore the kingdom by force after the northern tribes rebelled. This is recorded in 2 Chronicles 11 to 2:4. Question 25. In 2 Chronicles, who is said to have rebuilt the cities of Judah? A. King Josiah. B. King Ahaz. C. King Jehoshaphat. D. King Hezekiah. Answer: C. King Jehoshaphat. 2 Chronicles 17:12 states that Jehoshaphat grew increasingly powerful and he fortified Judah, building cities and storehouses throughout the land. Question 26. What was the fate of King Ahaziah of Judah as described in Chronicles? A. He died in peace. B. He was captured and exiled. C. He was assassinated. D. He abdicated the throne. Answer: C. He was assassinated. King Ahaziah of Judah's fate was assassination at the hands of Jehu, who was executing judgment against the house of Ahab. This is detailed in 2 Chronicles 22 to 7-9. Question 27. Which group of people were instrumental in King Josiah's assassination? A. His priests. B. His servants. C. The prophets. D. The people of Jerusalem. Answer: B. His servants. King Joash was assassinated by his own servants as a response to his murder of Jehoiada the priest's son, as recorded in 2 Chronicles 24-25. Question 28. What was King Amaziah's notable military achievement? A. Defeating Edom in the Valley of Salt. B. Capturing Jerusalem. C. Building the walls of Jericho. D. Expanding the naval fleet. Answer: A. Defeating Edom in the Valley of Salt. King Amaziah's notable military achievement was his victory over Edom in the Valley of Salt, as recounted in 2 Chronicles 25:11-12, which restored a measure of national pride. Question 29. Which king of Judah made a covenant with the king of Israel that was frowned upon by a prophet? A. Asa. B. Jehoshaphat. C. Ahaz. D. Hezekiah. Answer: B. Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat made a covenant with Ahab, king of Israel, to go to war against Ramoth-Gilead. The prophet Jehu, son of Hanani, chastised him for his alliance with the wicked Ahab, as described in 2 Chronicles 19-1-2. Question 30. What was the significance of the list of David's mighty men in Chronicles? A. It underscored their betrayal of David. B. It highlighted their heroic deeds and loyalty. C. It was a genealogical record. D. It detailed their subsequent kingships. Answer: B. It highlighted their heroic deeds and loyalty. The list of David's mighty men in 1 Chronicles 11 serves to highlight their extraordinary deeds, fierce loyalty, and significant roles in establishing and securing David's kingdom, illustrating the king's strong and valorous support system. Question 31. How is Solomon's wealth and wisdom depicted in Chronicles? A. As unremarkable. B. As excessive and corrupting. C. As divinely given and legendary. D. As self-acquired through trade. Answer: C. As divinely given and legendary. 2 Chronicles 9 describes Solomon's wealth and wisdom as surpassing all the kings of the earth, a gift from God that made him renowned and respected. His wisdom led to peace and prosperity, drawing visitors from distant lands who came to witness his wisdom and wealth firsthand. Question 32. What unusual event occurred during the reign of King Jehoram as a sign from God? A. A great earthquake. B. A famine for 7 years. C. The writing on the wall. D. A deadly plague. Answer: B. a famine for 7 years. 2 Chronicles 21:12-15 describes a prophecy Elijah sent to Jehoram, predicting a great famine as divine retribution for his evil ways. This famine lasted 7 years, underscoring God's judgment on the king's unfaithfulness. Question 33. Who led a religious revival in 2 Chronicles that included a significant Passover celebration? A. King Asa. B. King Josiah. C. King Hezekiah. D. King Jehoshaphat. Answer: C. King Hezekiah. King Hezekiah led a significant religious revival that is detailed in 2 Chronicles 30, including a grand Passover celebration that was one of the most unified and extensive observances since the time of Solomon, aimed at restoring proper worship and national unity. Question 34. What was the outcome of the reforms made by King Manasseh after his captivity? A. They were largely ignored. B. They led to a civil war. C. They were reversed after his death. D. They restored proper worship practices. Answer: D. They restored proper worship practices. 2 Chronicles 33:15-16 notes that after his captivity, Manasseh made significant reforms including removing foreign gods, restoring the altar of the Lord, and commanding Judah to serve the Lord God of Israel, effectively restoring the nation's adherence to worshiping the one true God. Question 35. Which king experienced great prosperity but fell morally in his later years? A. King Solomon. B. King Uzziah. C. King Rehoboam. D. King Asa. Answer: B. King Uzziah. King Josiah experienced great prosperity and was highly successful, but his pride led to his downfall. 2 Chronicles 26:16-21 describes how he improperly entered the temple to burn incense, an act of pride that resulted in his being struck with leprosy. Question 36. How does Chronicles describe the involvement of angels in the battles of the kings of Judah? A. As leading the armies. B. As observers. C. As messengers of strategies. D. As divine intervention aiding victory. Answer: D. As divine intervention aiding victory. 2 Chronicles 32:21 illustrates how an angel of the Lord annihilated the Assyrian camp during Hezekiah's reign, showcasing direct divine intervention that led to a miraculous victory when Jerusalem was under siege. Question 37. What was the response of the people when King Josiah read the rediscovered book of the law? A. They ignored it. B. They mourned and repented. C. They rebelled. D. They were indifferent. Answer: B. They mourned and repented. 2 Chronicles 34:27-31 describes how the people responded with mourning and a commitment to renew their covenant with God, led by King Josiah, who spearheaded the national movement toward repentance and religious reform. Question 38. Who was responsible for the death of King Ahab as recounted in Chronicles? A. King Jehoshaphat. B. The prophet Elijah. C. An unnamed archer. D. King Hazael. Answer: C. An unnamed archer. 2 Chronicles 18:33-34 recounts that an unnamed archer struck King Ahab with an arrow at random during the battle at Ramoth Gilead, which ultimately led to his death, fulfilling the prophecy of his demise at that location. Question 39. Which king was struck down by God for unauthorized actions in the temple? A. King Joash. B. King Uzziah. C. King Ahaz. D. King Manasseh. Answer: B. King Uzziah. King Uzziah was struck with leprosy by God for burning incense in the temple, a duty reserved for priests, as detailed in 2 Chronicles 26:16-21. symbolizing divine retribution for overstepping sacred boundaries. Question 40. How did King Hezekiah secure water for Jerusalem during a siege? A. By praying for rain. B. By digging wells inside the city. C. By building a tunnel. D. By negotiating with the attackers. Answer: C. By building a tunnel. 2 Chronicles 32:30 describes how Hezekiah constructed a tunnel, the Siloam Tunnel, to bring water from the Gihon spring into the city, securing a water supply during the Assyrian siege and ensuring the survival of the city's inhabitants. Question 41. What happened to the sons of Elionai, as recorded in the genealogies? A. They became high priests. B. They were exiled to Babylon. C. They died young. D. They had many sons. Answer: D. They had many sons. 1 Chronicles 3:24 mentions that the sons of Elionai were numerous, listing 7 sons, indicating the continuation and expansion of his lineage. Question 42. Which king received a warning from a prophet about trusting the armories of the flesh? A. King Asa. B. King Jehoshaphat. C. King Hezekiah. D. King Rehoboam. Answer: A. King Asa. 2 Chronicles 16-7-9 recounts how the prophet Hanani warned King Asa that his reliance on foreign armies and his failure to trust in the Lord's might would lead to wars, a rebuke for trusting in military might over divine support. Question 43. What treasures were taken from the temple during the reign of King Ahaz? A. The golden altar. B. The Ark of the Covenant. C. Artifacts and furnishings. D. The bronze pillars. Answer: C. Artifacts and furnishings. During the reign of King Ahaz, he took items from the temple to pay off the king of Assyria, as noted in 2 Chronicles 28:21, which included various temple treasures and furnishings, indicating his lack of faith and desperation. Question 44. How is the genealogy of Saul different in Chronicles compared to other books? A. It is more detailed. B. It is shorter. C. It includes non-Israelite ancestors. D. It is more focused on his military exploits. Answer: A. It is more detailed. 1 Chronicles 8:29-40 provides a detailed account of Saul's genealogy, offering more names and familial connections than found in other books, highlighting the chronicler's intent to document the lineage more comprehensively. Question 45. What specific sacrifices did King Hezekiah restore at the temple? A. Burnt offerings. B. Sin offerings. C. Peace offerings. D. All of the above. Answer: D. All of the above. 2 Chronicles 29:31-35 details that Hezekiah restored various types of sacrifices, including burnt offerings, sin offerings, and peace offerings, as part of his religious reforms to re-establish proper worship practices. Question 46. Which queen mother was deposed for her idolatry according to 2 Chronicles? A. Athaliah. B. Micah. C. Jezebel. D. Bathsheba. Answer: B. Micah. Queen Mother Micah was deposed by her grandson King Asa for her idolatrous practices, as recorded in 2 Chronicles 15:16, marking a significant act of religious reform and adherence to covenant faithfulness. Question 47. How does Chronicles detail the architectural designs of the temple? A. Vaguely. B. With precise measurements. C. Through prophetic visions. D. It does not mention designs. Answer: B. With precise measurements. 1 Chronicles 28:11-19 describes David giving Solomon the plans for the temple, including detailed architectural designs and measurements, ensuring that the construction would meet divine specifications. Question 48. What was the relationship between the kings of Judah and the surrounding nations as described in Chronicles? A. Constantly at war. B. Mostly peaceful and allied. C. Frequently changing alliances. D. Isolated and non-interactive. Answer: C. Frequently changing alliances. The Book of Chronicles describes various Judahite kings engaging in alliances with surrounding nations, sometimes to their benefit and other times leading to divine rebuke, reflecting the complex and often changing diplomatic landscape. Question 49. Which king reigned the shortest in Judah as per Chronicles? A. Jehoahaz. B. Ahaziah. C. Joash. D. Zimri. Answer: A. Jehoahaz. Jehoahaz, also known as Ahaziah, reigned for only 3 months in Judah, making his the shortest reign among the kings mentioned in Chronicles, as noted in 2 Chronicles 36-2. Question 50. How are the final words of David presented in 1 Chronicles? A. As a poem. B. As a series of blessings. C. As a speech to Solomon. D. As a prayer. Answer: C. At the speech to Solomon. 1 Chronicles 28:20 records David's final words to Solomon, encouraging him to be strong and to do the work of building the temple, assuring him of God's presence and support.